for us, we were just like blown away by the kindness of some of these people. To this day, we just still can't believe that some of these people just did what they did for us, and they don't want nothing from you. They don't want anything from you. Yeah,
it's what's lovely is authenticity.
Yeah,
and sort of just this willingness to help.
I'm DJ Carl Hines. I spin vinyl. I love fashion. And when I'm not mixing records or hunting down the freshest clothes, you'll probably find me obsessing over rare tracks and perfectly tailored jackets. I've got a killer collection of vinyl, and I've got the most stylish wardrobe in Alcochete, where I live. Today I have a special guest on the Simple Life podcast with the one and only Dylan. We're chatting about my love for Portugal and why it's the perfect backdrop for my sets, and my plans to take over the world, one mix at a time. Do join us.
I'm a curious explorer and a dedicated warrior for women's empowerment and development. With a pioneering spirit, I'm always open to life's next big adventure, embracing the unknown with curiosity and passion. I'm the latest guest on Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, where I chat with Dylan about why I love Portugal, how my experiences in leadership and creativity have shaped my journey, and of course, my love of wine, as well as those stunning Portuguese tiles and the writing life.
Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, the Simple Life. And I'm delighted to be joined here by Natalie Turner and Carl Hines. Natalie and Carl, thank you for being on the podcast. Bon dia. How are you two today? We had a bit of a panic at the beginning, but we're here now. In good Portuguese fashion, we just roll with the punches, we just get it.
That's right.
Yeah.
How is everything?
Excellent. Really, really good. It's nice and sunny here in Alcochete, and we've got a beautiful day ahead.
Wonderful. Carl and Natalie, why don't you start off telling us a bit about you?
Well, we have been in Portugal 2.5 years. I'm from the UK. My parents were the Windrush people that came from Jamaica in the early 60s.
Okay.
So I've got the next generation of that. Worked in London, and then we moved to Asia
Wow.
a few years and came here. I'm a vinyl DJ, professional DJ, MC I've done.
Okay.
And just loving life in Portugal. It's a really great and different experience. We'll get into that a bit later.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And I'm Natalie, and I'm also from the UK. But we lived in Singapore and Malaysia for 13 years before coming to Portugal.
Wow. Okay.
And we run a business together, and we'll talk about that later. So we run an innovation company, and I'm also a writer, best-selling author, actually, award-winning author of a book about innovation, and work in the area of women's leadership development as well.
Amazing. Okay. Take us back to how and why Portugal. How did that all start for you guys?
Well, it started one day. We were living in Penang. That's where we were before we came here. And it was just at the end of COVID and everything. And we started to think, that we'd had our time in Asia. And we were thinking, where's the next best place to go? And we sort of got the iPad out and had a look, and we saw Portugal is the best place to live right now in the world. This was like 3 years ago. And it started from then, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, my parents are quite elderly now, and I wanted to be back in Europe, but not in England. And it was like, well, where's the best place to live if you're a foreigner? And that really started the search. And also with COVID, everything changed with the business in terms of we went remote and virtual. And so obviously geography was no longer a real issue anymore. And we have a network of people around the world that we work with, so we could live anywhere. We were free, really.
You've looked at Portugal on paper and you're going, okay, this is interesting. Had you visited before that?
I'd been once a long time ago, and I went down to Albufeira, but it was literally for about 3 days. I'd never been to Lisbon before or anywhere else in Portugal. So it just basically landed here, and it's like, this new world, where am I?
And to be fair, Albufeira is not exactly a snapshot of the real Portugal.
No, it's not.
I'd gone a couple of times as a child in the 80s to the Algarve as well as on holiday, and then once on a business trip to Lisbon just for a couple of nights. But neither of us knew Portugal at all, and because of COVID we couldn't travel, so it literally was pack up our stuff, had a 40-foot container, and we didn't set sail, we flew, but the stuff set sail, and then 4 months later it arrived in Quinta da Bellora.
What were your first kind of impressions as you arrived? What were the things that surprised you? What were the things that perhaps exceeded expectations? How was that experience?
Shoes for me, that was a huge culture shock because I used to love wearing really nice high stiletto shoes.
Yeah,
And
you have to
obviously
be
with the,
careful
with
where
the
you walk.
roads here and all the cobbled streets and everything, it was like I had to give those up and start wearing flat shoes and trainers and more comfortable shoes for walking around the streets. So that was a bit of a shock, yeah.
Now, having lived here and those things that you looked at on paper, you thought, okay, this is going to be a nice place to live. How is it now that you've been here for more than 2 years? How's that experience been for the two of you?
It's been absolutely fantastic. I think we were very because we were clear we wanted to buy a home as well, and so we travelled all over the country in those first 8-9 months, and then we found the place that we're now living and bought a house here. And we're absolutely delighted. I mean, every day we live right on the Tagus River, so we
Hmm.
walk along, and every day I just feel so grateful, so happy that we found this gorgeous town and this beautiful house. And we've settled very well here. We've made loads of great friends, and both foreigners and Portuguese. And yeah, we're having a really, really good life. Really good life.
How has your experience been as an expat? What can you tell us about life from that perspective here?
Well, I think first of all, we don't even think of ourselves as expats anymore. I think we just think of ourselves as foreigners living in Portugal because the expat life is so different in Asia. It is so many people from so many different countries, all sort of living in a sort of similar sort of lifestyle bubble, if you like. It's fantastic. We had a great time. I think what's different here is it feels it's like living in we do live in a neighborhood, so we can just walk out the house down the cobbled streets. We say hello to people as we know people in the restaurants, and everyone's very friendly, and the little shops and the cafes, and I think it's that sort of very welcoming neighborhood, and where we feel we're part of it, even though we're a little bit outside of it because we're not Portuguese. But we felt very, very welcomed here, and people have been very, very kind and very helpful. And it's been a lovely experience, actually, really lovely.
Looking for a home in Portugal? This break in Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, is brought to you by Dylan and his team of certified realtors at Portugal Realty. Portugal Realty offers the exclusive Simple Life home buyer program. Visit portugalrealty.com today and book your free call to find out more. Welcome to the Simple Life.
Tell us a bit about the work you guys are doing.
Well, our business is actually based in Singapore still, so we
Okay.
operate out of Singapore. We run a business called the NTO Network, and our principal brand, I suppose, within that is a brand called the 6 Eyes of Innovation. So we've invented a methodology and an assessment, a suite of assessment tools that we sell mostly into multinationals and into government, where it helps people understand their strengths as they relate to ideas, new ideas, bringing ideas into the world. So it's a lot of training and development around innovation skills and creative thinking skills, and how to get new ideas and how to actually make those ideas work. So we've developed a whole sort of a suite of services, training programs, facilitation, workshops. I do a lot of keynote speaking, and then I wrote a book around it as well called Yes, You Can Innovate, Discover Your Innovation Strengths and Develop Your Creative Potential.
Yeah, so in addition to that as well, we do other things. So Natalie is writing a novel.
Yes.
But I'm a professional DJ as well, so I do performances where I can. I've even done weddings, and I've done everything that you could do. But I'm more of a vinyl DJ, so I'm a very purist DJ. I've got a huge collection of music here, and I tend to play vinyl when I go out, so it's kind of different and kind of retro, and people kind of like that kind of it's a lot of soul music, funk, disco type of vibe. And I'm trying to build that up here in Portugal as well. And also, we want to take into consideration the holidays that are happening here as well. Before, when we lived in Malaysia, they'd have all these traditional holidays and things, and we never used to participate in them. We used to just continue to work as if we were still in the UK. But here, now if something is happening, or if there's a Saints' Day or something like that, we'll take the day off as well. We'll get into it. So, we try to balance our work life, our home life, and everything with what's going on in the community, and be grounded and be part of things as well.
I think too, living where we are, so we're in the Setúbal Peninsula. I mean, we've got everything on our doorstep. We both really enjoy good wine. There are so many lovely vineyards, so we're always
Came to the right place for wine.
and they have so many festivals. We've got the cheese festival. We've got even the sweet potato festival. We have the bull festival here in Alcochete, which is very famous. The Ballet Verde. So that's every year for 10 days. So we really have embraced Portugal and Portuguese life as much as we can. And actually, even some of our Portuguese friends say, "Oh, we don't know that place. We haven't been there." And
yeah.
we really love is the azuelos, the tiles. So
yes, you were in the newspaper for some tile work that you had done.
Yeah, we had a beautiful 2 meter by 1 meter mural hand painted by one of Portugal's leading tile artists, and I've had that installed in our courtyard, and it's beautiful. And so we really have embraced being here and are embracing being here, and I think there's still lots more to explore and to see.
How has Portugal changed you?
I think the big thing for me in where it's changed is that we have actually bought a home here, and that is really significant. I think after we had a house in London, which we on the outskirts of London, but we sold. And then we moved 9 times in 13 years in Asia, 3 countries.
Wow, it's a lot.
And now, moving here, the way I feel it's changed, well, me, I expect it's for you as well, is buying our own home and feeling settled here. And even though we're still explorers and we love, pioneering and the new, it's just to have that sense of grounded space, where you feel like, this is home now. And to feel settled within that in a really nice way, and I can't think of a nicer place to have chosen. And every day, as I said earlier, every day I'm so grateful that we chose to live here.
I mean, what do you want to say about the Portuguese people and your experience of the Portuguese people?
Oh, I just think they're just amazing. I mean, like I said, we're just going back to what we were just talking about in terms of just this buying process. And the fact that, it wasn't an easy process. There's a lot actually that went wrong during the process. And like you were saying, these guys, they did so much for us. They didn't have to do it. And they went above and beyond to help us achieve this dream. And they really did. And it just, for us, we were just like blown away by the kindness of some of these people. To this day, we just still can't believe that some of these people just did what they did for us. And they don't want nothing from you. They don't want anything from you. Yeah.
It's what's lovely is authenticity.
Yeah.
And sort of, just this willingness to help.
Natalie and Carl, what is one thing that you would like people to remember and to take away from our conversation?
Well, just be open to life. I mean, that's our strap line, actually, and a lot of our communication and everything is just be open to life, just embrace everything. If you're a new person to Portugal, just embrace what's going on, the people, the language, the traditions. Try and go somewhere that's not popular, like Lisbon and Cascais and all these sort of places, and go somewhere else in the countryside and meet and see other things.
Natalie and Carl, a question that we ask all of our guests and ladies first. Portugal, the simple life, why?
And I think that there's something quite wonderful about the simple life of living life by design in a place like Portugal is just awesome. It's just, and to be a guest on the simple life and to know what the stories of other people and what they're sharing, I think is it's just wonderful to hear. Just
the simple life, we are living in fact, we're living an extraordinary life, actually, because we have designed our life. We created this existence, really, when we were in Penang in Malaysia, and we knew exactly what we wanted. We knew we wanted a house, we wanted it in a small village, we wanted it very close to the shops, we wanted to meet some wonderful people, we wanted to network and stuff. So we created this whole experience and stuff. And that's our simple and extraordinary life that we've created. Awesome. Everybody can do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I've really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
And I'm going to let you call it. This is where you say that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
See, I was just, that's a wrap. Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you once again to our guest, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.